Welcome to YOUCANIC. Today here in YOUCANIC we have a 2020 Honda Civic. This has the 1.5 liter T engine in it, and we are going to go over how to change out the serpentine belt and the tensioner. If you're doing just the serpentine belt, that one's very easy. If you're doing the tensioner, it takes a little bit more, but it's still fairly easy. Tools needed is a size 19 to be able to release the tension from the tensioner. So you should never let your belt get looking this bad. This one was that bad, but that's been removed, and there is a new one on there, but I'm going to show you the process of how you remove and to be able to put a new one back on. So this is the diagram of the way that the belt will run, whether you can try to take a picture of it or make a drawing. But your belt will run this way: ribs around the water pump, ribs around the AC, ribs around the crankshaft, smooth side around the back of the tensioner. And so the tensioner has its release point right here, and that's where we're going to put our number 19 on, and we're going to go clockwise, and as we go clockwise it moves the tensioner backwards to release the tension on the belt. After we do that, then we have alternator is the rib side around there, and that's the routing of our belt on this 1.5 liter T engine. So now most of this work will be able to be done from the bottom. Sometimes you could release the tension from up here, but this is pretty tight up here. So as long as you raise your vehicle, support it on jack stands, remove your front right tire, you'll be able to get in there, kind of crawl under there, and be able to do everything from down below fairly easy. So down here from below we have our crankshaft pulley here, AC pulley is right here. Straight up above it is our water pump. Then we have the tensioner pulley here, and then right over here we have our alternator pulley. Okay, so first we need to release the tension. So if you're looking at this and you're going straight up, we have our tensioner here. Some people say use the Torx here, but we don't need to, because they have a built-in release option right up top here, which that is where you'd get a 19 millimeter on to be able to release the tension. And so this is a hydraulic tension, and so as you release it, it depresses a little hydraulic cylinder. And so we just release that tension and then be able to get the belt to come off of a pulley or two. And now we can let the tensioner off. We'll remove the belt fully. Okay, so now we can remove the full belt out of the way. So that's our belt is removed. And now we are ready to be able to put our belt on. So this is, remember, the belt routing that we use for the 1.5 liter T. So we have alternator, rib around the alternator, rib around the water pump, rib around the AC, rib around the crankshaft, and then it comes in here and smooth side around the tensioner. This is the release bolt here. It's just a stud that's on part of the tensioner, and so we've got a 19 millimeter on here. Release that tension to be able to get the belt around our final pulley with the belt released, or the tension released. So you take your new belt and work it up around. Have it around the water pump, preliminary around the AC pump or AC compressor. Then the alternator, and now we're going to bring it in the smooth side around the tensioner. One thing to note, there is a tab on the top of this crankshaft pulley right here, so you're going to want to make sure that the belt goes under that tab and that's where it sits under. If you put it on the top side, you'll just tear it up. Which that's a tab for timing if you ever need to take your full engine apart. So now we're almost there. This is where we're going to need to release the tension off of the tensioner to be able to get this last portion. So with our 19, we're going to get up in there and get on that stud up there. And be able to depress the tensioner there, and then get our belt wrapped around the pulley. You're going to want to double check all your other pulleys that the ribs are inside the grooves, and now you can release your tension there. And then also just another check, make sure everything's in the grooves so that we know that the belt should stay on with no problem. Otherwise it will work its way off fairly quickly if you don't have it installed in all the grooves. So that is the install of your Serpentine belt on your 2020 Honda Civic with the 1.5 liter motor in it. Thanks for watching YOUCANIC, where you can be the mechanic.